And we are live. Hello, everybody. Hello,
Hello.
Sam. I think there's a little bit of an elephant slash, something missing,
Something
possibly.
missing. Our trio is now just a duo.
For now.
For now.
Yes, so unfortunately, UK Sam can't be with us. She's too busy. How rude. But we do have a very special guest coming on a little bit later on. But for now, Sam, how are you?
I'm great. How about you? How's your week been?
Busy. Very busy. Yes.
Yeah,
I am, with you guys being in, you being in America, I am back to being the only one drinking, but I'm embracing it wholeheartedly this week.
I feel it. Yep, I love it.
It's one of those weeks.
It's been a busy week for me as well. I don't know where the time has gone anymore. I blink and it's like Friday already, and I'm like, oh great, it's the weekend. Then I blink again and it's Monday, and I'm like, no, I didn't even get to enjoy my weekend. Yeah, it sucks, but it's just how life is going right now. Still in kind of, lockdown, and nothing really is normal yet, but everyone's trying to think it's normal. Yeah, it's rough.
Have you guys had any dates for release yet in the US?
Not really. No, I mean, they're slowly opening more things. I heard in New York they're opening movie theaters soon, which is, I don't know, weird priorities.
So you have to slide past people anyway just to get to your seat. So yeah, it just completely defeats the object.
Yeah, not sure how that's gonna work, but yeah, I mean they're starting to think about how they're gonna do that, and but no definitive things yet, which is sad because I'm like everybody, just kind of tired of not doing anything.
Sick of it. Absolutely sick of it.
I really miss going out.
Just the simple things. I just want to go out for a meal and a few drinks with my friends. Or to go and sit in a beer garden. Well, the weather's not great, but yeah, when we can.
No, seriously, the same thing. Here in Colorado, where I am right now, some bars are open, but they're there's restrictions, of course, so it's not really fun. It's very I haven't gone at all. Some of my friends that I know have, and they're like, it's pretty lame, not gonna lie. You can't, obviously you can't have the same amount of people. It's just very limited. Obviously there's not going to be as many people around, so it doesn't have that same environment that it used to have. So I'm very kind of I don't want to go out. Not really. It's not going to be the same.
No one's there.
Yeah, no one's there. It's not going to be as fun. So yeah, that's all right.
Oh my god, I totally forgot. We didn't even do our intro. Because Sam's not here, I totally forgot.
We just started talking. Oh, well. Welcome to Time of the Week.
Where we always talk watches.
And we occasionally drink wine.
Usually me, which I'm accepting.
It's okay.
And for those who have just joined us, obviously, UK Sam is missing. However, we do have a lovely guest backstage who's going to help us out today. And we're going to interview, co-host. So come on in. Hello, Stephanie.
Hi, ladies. Hi. How are you?
How do you rock a headband and not look like a 5-year-old?
I don't know. I think I do. I mean, it's like not blow drying my hair. This is the answer.
I love it.
But I'm very much wishing I could drink wine right now. Not only is it in the middle of the day, which hasn't stopped me in the past, but I'm very pregnant right now. So that is hindering this. But I look forward to joining you in a few months with a gallon of wine, I think would be the appropriate amount.
Yeah, so, literally as soon as you're allowed to, we'll have you back and you can down. We'll leave Arthur. You can take child.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what husbands are for. Yeah, it's great.
How are
But how
you
are you guys
doing?
doing? I'm good. I'm good. It's yeah, I heard you guys talking about like wanting to go out and stuff, and I feel like I'm the opposite. I've turned into like a hermit. Um and just like in my house with my dog, and I'm super COVID sensitive, particularly now. So like I'm hesitant to go out anywhere. So it's just like me, my dog, my watches. That's life, and that's fine. And work. But
So like that in itself, maybe minus the work thing, does actually
yeah.
sound fantastic.
It's all right. I'm
Yeah.
good with it. Yeah, but I do hope things open up again soon. I gotta say, I'm just like really dying to go to like red bar events and watch meetups,
Yes.
and it's fun to do these sorts of things and chat with people on Instagram. But I've made so many friends over the past year, and I want to
Yeah.
meet everybody in person. And
Yeah.
Same.
in normal times, I travel a lot for work, so like I'm in the UK a lot. I'm in Colorado a lot. It would be really fun to just be able to, get together.
Meet up with
But
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So maybe soon.
Yeah. I miss that too. It's great. I got for the Red Bar in Denver here. We do like virtual meetups, and I always get emails of like we can Zoom together. They have whatever watch brand on, and they talk about new releases, whatever.
Mhm.
So I got one for next month, and I emailed the founder, and I was like, I can't believe this is like a year. It's been a year since I went to a Red Bar event.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know, it's been crazy. Like, I can't believe that it's been this long. But we were still making really good connections. And like you said, I've met so many people, quote unquote, so many people, just starting my Instagram, like Lucy, and just getting to like be more interactive, even though we can't at the same time. Like
Yeah.
it's weird, but it's been great.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. Like
It's good.
I've never been to I only got onto Instagram sort of June last year, and I've never been to a watch meetup. And yeah, like, obviously I speak to all of these people, and we work so closely together, and yet I've not met a single person from the watch community, and I'm just like dying to get involved, but hopefully soon. Hopefully
It'll
we'll
be good.
have
We're all gonna
something.
make name tags with our Instagram like handles on it,
I think that's the only way, because otherwise no one's going to have a clue who the other one is. I'm like,
Who
oh,
the
so
real
what's your
names
name?
are,
You were
yeah.
like, oh, Lucy, and I'm like, and they'll be like,
Okay.
watch my
Nice.
diaries. Ah, got you.
Ah, got
Okay.
it. Yeah. And I know your entire watch collection. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. We've seen these stories like, oh, how's your cat?
Yeah.
How was your visit so and so?
So
Normal life that
true.
would seem really weird, but
Yeah.
after lockdown, everyone's a stalker now.
Mhm.
That is very true. Yeah. I
Yeah.
do remember going to a few events and like seeing people's watches and like not knowing what they looked like. And I would see like a kind of a unique piece, and I knew they were a Red Bar DC person, or, wherever, Red Bar New York or person. And I was like, oh, I know who you are. I'm gonna try not to be creepy, but yeah. So.
Hi. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, what are you ladies wearing today?
I was just about to ask. I'm like,
Okay.
let's not do a brick and just completely ignore the question here. Let's go for it. So, Stephanie, you are our guest host today. So, what are you wearing?
I have my white Planet Ocean on today. I don't know why. Just felt like it today. It's a good one. This was a COVID purchase. Got a really good deal on Crown Caliber, which I guess we can talk about that at some point today. But
That's
Very nice.
yeah, I like this one.
What size is that one? Is it?
I think it's 37.
Yeah,
It looks a good size. Doesn't look like the normal Planet Ocean
No,
size.
it is pretty thick. So in the summer I wore it on a like white rubber strap, and that was really nice.
Oh, I bet that looks really cool.
Yeah, it lightened it up a bit. But for the winter, when I'm in sweaters and stuff, I don't mind the big bracelet. That's fine. But it's definitely my heaviest watch, like for sure.
You get some muscles on your arm.
Yeah.
Just lifting
Yeah.
it around.
Yeah, this one's stronger than the other. Yeah.
Sam, what are you wearing?
Today I decided to wear my blue Seiko Presage on the Milanese bracelet. One of my favorites. Love this blue so much. It's It was
I love
I
style.
bought a few watches in lockdown, so I can't say this is like my COVID watch that I bought. It was just one of those that I was like, why not? Just get it.
Is that say sorry? Was that a lockdown purchase as well?
Yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah. I definitely should have worn mine now on that basis. So I also went for Seiko. I'm wearing my Seiko Presage Kir Royale, my red dial. I was just saying to Sam before we actually went live, I was going to change to my new Smiths, which was a lockdown purchase. But I was actually like, this is dark blue. So I'm wearing like blue and white stripes with my red watch, and I've got 2 Americans with me. I'm like,
You're very patriotic.
patriotic. Thank you.
Love it. Thanks for thinking about us.
I was like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to rock this now.
That's fun.
Yeah. So, shall we start talking a little bit about watch news? Because quite a lot has come up this week. It was, I think, it was very quiet, sort of January time in terms of watches, and then just from February onwards, it sort of skyrocketed a little bit. I am hopefully going to do this correctly because this is the first time I've actually hosted these. So prepare for technical issues incoming. So we'll start with, let's say, I guess a smaller piece of news. G-Shock have been throwing out quite a lot of watches recently, I think. You know, they've had the red, they've blasted out some gold, Mr. G, the steels, and the clear watches. Literally within the last 2 weeks, I think.
The clear ones make me think of the jelly shoes. Did you ever have jelly shoes? Girl?
Yes. Yes.
That's exactly what I thought of. My mum would never let me wear them either.
They would get so gross, and the clear would turn like yellowy, you know?
Yes.
Like 2 days.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I thought they looked cool, but I'm like, I don't think I can actually wear this because it would just take me back to those days. But yeah.
Well, my first thought was like, is this going to get dirty?
Yeah.
I thought the clear would just get very easily dirty, and I don't know how I would clean it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but I feel the same way. Yeah, it took me back.
And what if you've got really hairy arms? How does that go?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If anyone has a clear Casio, send us a picture of your hair underneath it.
Does it like stand out? Does it lay flat?
Maybe I don't want those DMs. Yeah.
Send it to time of the week, not me personally. But we are talking this about the King Nerd G-Shock. So this is designed by King Nerd. I believe he's an artist. Yep, on Instagram, and it's obviously not entirely based on Instagram. But yeah, what do we think about this one? Is it? Apparently, there's only one picture.
I mean, generally, I think like collaborations with artists are really cool. I think it would be neat to do a lot with, street artists in particular. And G-Shock seems pretty ripe for like great collaborations like that. I know they've done ones in the past. This one I just don't think is like particularly pretty or cool, or it doesn't strike me as something I would love and jump on. The gold is cool, but probably not for me. But I guess like my point is I would love to see more with with individual artists. I think that's fun.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Have a good take. Yeah, a different take for sure. Just to show that personality. Like you can see there is a lot of personality that was put into it. It's just not my style personally. Kind of reminds me of like what a boy would wear. Like a little boy, like just, hey mom, I got this cool watch, like that's what it just makes me think of. But
like your first watch when you were like 10.
Basically, yeah, I feel like I've seen boys that I knew growing up with this kind of watch. And they think it's so cool, which is great. If that's what like starts their watch journey, why not? But it's just not for me.
I think what would be neat though is if like G-Shock did a little bit. I mean, like use this watch case of silver or gold or something, but then had like an artist series of straps, and you could change them out. Now I've never tried to change a G-Shock strap. I don't know how that would go. I'm looking at my like row of G-Shocks here. But
It's a good collection.
like Arthur makes me keep all my quartz watches in my office because they tick too loudly in the dresser in the bedroom.
Oh,
So I
okay.
have my, like,
Not
quartz wall.
not just
shit
because
here.
he's like so anti-quartz, he's kind of there to look at them.
Here's the ticking. And then I like put them all in a drawer, and he's like, it's still too loud. I can't stand it. So yeah, hold on, I'll show you actually.
Do you guys have the Scottish watches swatch
This
yet?
is like the quartz like thing that has to be on my desk. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, on the G-Shock thing, I think it would be neat if there were like straps you could change out with like an artist base, and then you could have yeah, especially like different street artists come in and do straps. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, give them more personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel
We'll
like
have a series of different straps designed by one artist as a series, and you can interchange them.
yeah, because I feel like with like especially like the John Mayer G-Shock, it was very just plain.
I find this better.
Yeah, like a little disappointing. And I feel like if there was more personality to it, like that he could have put in it, like the strap, it would have been more visually interesting. And yeah, just
Do you want like a lyric of like your body's a wonderland around your
or just something like maybe like musical, like something like a musical touch of something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we said like if one of the screens or the buttons or something was like a guitar shape, or the lights were, I don't know, keyboard sounded or something. I don't know.
Or like hit a button and you hear like an 8-bit version of your favorite John Mayer song.
Perfect.
Boom.
Like literally perfect. We should work in their marketing department, and we're not marketing experts.
That's true. No, I've
Check
got
what they're doing. Alternative career option if my current job doesn't work out.
Right.
Oh God. Yeah. So disappointing, childlike, and we have much better ideas. Brilliant.
Here we go. Yep, we're available for hire.
Basically sums that up. This one I wanted to glance at very, very quickly because it's a brand that I've become a little bit obsessed with currently. So these are the Zelos Swordfish, 40mm, and they've just brought out their bronze collection, which I am incredibly intrigued by. I've never had a bronze watch. I don't know how I feel about an all bronze watch. How it's gonna. Do you have one?
I haven't seen this one before. What's the price point on these?
I think these were released at 3:00 today for. I think the watches themselves are about $300, and then the bronze strap is $200.
Okay.
So all in all, for $500, you get a fantastic watch. Actually, you get a lot for $500 is not actually that much money considering. And I love the bronze, and I'm intrigued as to how it's gonna, how it will fade, I guess, and
yeah,
and wear. So yeah, look at this though.
Ooh,
It's completely sold out.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to try a bronze watch, but like, even some of the Oris ones that I like, they're just at a higher price point. And I feel like bronze for me is going to be like a passing fad or a trend or something I'm going to want for a little while, but not forever. And I tend to buy watches that I particularly like above $500 that I want to keep forever and ever, with no intention of selling. But like, I gotta be honest, the reason I want a bronze watch is because I want to see it patina and turn that really cool like green color.
Exactly.
Like dip it in salt water or whatever it is you do to like speed up the process.
Yeah.
But like this, particularly on a strap, I think that could be fun.
Yeah, I think it looks better on a strap. It's just toned down a little bit more,
Yeah.
so it
I
doesn't pop as much. I feel
That-
like it's
that would be
very
pretty.
bright on the bracelet.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
do
really
have
like it.
a bronze watch. It's my Bulova. It's just the bezel that's
Mm.
bronze, and it's stainless steel back. I like it. I think it's a very different. It's just very different looking. It's not too gold. It's a nice break from having a stainless steel watch. That's basically all I have. Yeah, it's fun. But I think that's a good, since it's only the bezel. It's a good amount. It doesn't show too much. I feel like if I ever were to get a bronze bracelet for it, it would look just too much. Like I was trying a little bit too much to stand out, you know.
I'm this close to buying one.
Just do it. Just keep drinking
Yeah.
wine, and then you'll do it.
Just-
That's how.
Oh my god, yeah, drunk watch purchases during
That's
lockdown.
how all the great
That'll go
wine
well.
purchases happen. Yeah.
And these bracelets as well, they're stainless steel on the other side, so obviously it doesn't turn your arm green when you wear it,
Oh,
which is quite thoughtful. But yeah,
That's nice.
I would really like to see like a whole watch like completely patinaed.
Mhm.
Be cool.
I think that would be like really cool to see. Hmm.
Yeah, I like it.
It's definitely a brand that I want to add to the collection because I think they're fantastic, especially for the price point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's fun. I hadn't seen those.
Eee. Little micro brand there. Sam, you had a piece that you wanted to talk
Yeah.
about as well.
Yeah, this came out, I believe, 2 days ago, and fresh. The new Omega Seamaster Diver 300-meter America's Cup. Oh, America. What are we doing here? It's a huge watch. It's 44. It doesn't say on this website what the thickness is, but just from the pictures and the side angles, it's a pretty big one. 60-hour power reserve, and they have the quick change straps with it, which is a great, awesome feature for it, which I think more watches should do. But what do we think of this one?
It looks chunky.
It's big.
Does look chunky for sure. Yeah.
What do we think about the pushers?
I think the color on the pushers is cool. That's fun. I think that's like a neat touch.
Yeah.
I generally
It's like
really
overload,
dislike,
is it?
yeah, I generally really dislike Seamaster hands. I just like can't get past them. I don't know why I have like such a aversion to them. But I do appreciate like the colors of these, and I think if you had any sort of connection to sailing, this is like the equivalent of, I don't know, me liking to drive a sports car on the weekend and wearing like a Formula One watch to like someone who goes like sailing occasionally wearing an America's Cup watch. But I think if you have any sort of connection, this is like it's pretty. I think it's neat. It is chunky. But the color pushers are really cool. I think that's awesome. And I like, Sam, like you said, I'm really glad to see more brands doing these quick change bracelets, quick change straps. That's just overdue. That's great.
Oh yeah. It's so much easier, it's so much more convenient.
Yeah.
For someone like me that likes to quickly change her straps, like I sometimes am in a rush to wherever I'm going, and I don't have time to get my spring bar tool out, and
then you gotta like throw a few spring bars across the room. That's my
all the time
method.
all the
Easiest way
time
to lose them.
Yeah, and it's just nice to have that ability to easily change them. And I think it's like you said, great colors, really cool. I think the pushers are very unique. The hands, I just can't get over the hands. It's too much. Sometimes, I mean, I think this one, the bezel doesn't look terrible. I think the bezel looks cool with the different shape it has. It's not just a circular bezel. It has a little bit more geometric shape to it. But the hands just don't do it for me, and I don't like the subdials as much. I think it kind of makes it look very busy, where it could have just been a little bit more simple.
Yeah. I will say I've been going on like the, vintage rabbit hole a little bit, and there's some amazingly beautiful vintage Seamasters at great prices, perfect for smaller wrists.
Yeah. Yes.
And yeah, I don't know. I could see that being like, one of the next vintage things. My father-in-law wears one. It looks like great and beautiful, and he's worn it for 40 years. It's his everyday watch, and I don't know. I just think that's really cool and appealing, and I like the vintage ones more than the modern ones. Arthur totally disagrees with me on this, by the way, which is fine.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, absolutely the same. I think I've got a Seamaster that's been with a friend for renovations for quite a while now. I think almost every single piece needed replacing on it. But it will be fantastic once it's back up and running. It's I think it's 50s, and I completely agree. They're very different. The vintage to the current ones. They just have a different charm to them. I think definitely. Yeah, this one I don't find it offensive. I think Time to Loom mentioned that watches this big double up as a home defense weapon.
Sure.
Which I can agree with those sizings. Not for me, and I'm not entirely sure on the color combinations
it fits with
in that piece, the way that they've done it. But that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, it would match my outfit perfectly.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's not really what I'm going for.
I would love to see one of these days to bring back like more of the vintage look and vibe. I think people forget that a lot of the vintage stuff was smaller, sometimes under 40 or under 40 for sure. And yeah, I think people just forget that's where they all started, and that's what made them so popular. And then something happened where it's like it has to be masculine and ginormous in order for us to sell it. And odd choice, but I would love to see something like that.
I think that's a really good point, though, because especially as there have been a lot of like not recalls, but like callbacks to vintage pieces, which I don't like Fotina, so I'm not like arguing for that. But as brands are going into their archives to pull for inspiration or just straight up copy things, that coupled with a movement maybe to make things more unisex, or at least marketing more towards all size wrists and both genders, and it could just it's like a really good time like to bring back 1950s 60s Seamaster design right now for Omega. That would be awesome. That would be great at like a 36 to 39 millimeter size. Market it to everybody.
I think people forget how classy it looks. Like I'm all, for a big watch, I think it looks great for whatever occasion you're going to wear it. I mean, I have a 42 millimeter watch. That's always fun to wear, but something about having a smaller watch, it just looks classy. It looks well put together, depending on what strap you wear, or if it comes with a bracelet. It looks great. I think people need to kind of step back from that. Like, I need a big watch in order to look cool. I don't know. I don't get it, but I hope people can look at that one day.
I don't know whether half of the time they go for the bigger watches because they think they need all of the complications that come with it. But at the end of the day, half of these people don't dive. Half of these people that buy these watches don't sail. You don't actually need the functionality of most of these pieces. So I think taking something that is maybe 36 to 39, you're covering so many people and so many people's preference. I think that's a really good place to sit. Lydia Winters, hello. The vintage look is why I love my new Omega Seamaster 300 1957 Trilogy Edition. Perfect. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful piece, Leah. That's a great one to have in your collection. I think those are gorgeous. Those are great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, Andrew commenting, what about the modern 38mm 1948 Seamasters? So they are out there. And again, 38mm I think is a really, really good size.
That's true. I can't remember the thickness of those. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. So I'm not quick enough to be doing that while I'm actually talking on here. I don't know whether that's showing my age a little bit there, but yeah, I think that's we need to get into the marketing department of places. I think
Just start emailing, like, hey,
just guys, have you seen our show? Because we come up with so many good ideas.
I think it's like
Don't know what
the line of like have 2 glasses of wine and be like, listen, Omega, have I got some ideas for you? I'm sure this is what you wanted.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like that could be a very good show idea.
Anything about PR, but here are my ideas.
Yep.
Don't always need to.
Exactly.
We could be entrepreneurs. We love watches. Yeah, and I think the watches started getting smaller, and they started giving a nod to their vintage history, and then all of a sudden it's gone back to bigger pieces again, and chunky things, and it can just go back. It's getting our DeLoreans and head back. I think we've gone too far. We've gone too far, people.
So I will say, like, seeing some women rock really large pieces, I think is phenomenal and fantastic.
For sure.
IWC girl, some of the pieces she wears, I think are just like epically cool.
Yep.
I'm thinking about getting a Panerai, but I would still probably get it on the smaller side. But some like
a 38. The 38 ones.
I like the 38 millimeter Duet. That's a whole thing. But I think seeing like, I don't know, a very like jeans blazer and like a big ass watch. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Sometimes they just look so good.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah. But I would say I was always a vintage girl. Like that's how I started off my watch obsession, really. And then I got my G-Shock at Christmas. And then I managed to borrow a watch from Francis and Gay, which is our AD. And I borrowed the Longines Moonphase, which is a 40mm, which is a size I would never probably would have went for before, but it just fit the wrist so incredibly well. I now am starting to look at 40, maybe above sizing. So yeah, also that, but it had a charm about it and it wasn't too thick. So I think there's other elements to sort of add to that as well.
Yeah.
We cannot have a conversation about watches this week without including this.
Oh. Oh, yes.
I know, Sam, you said like, Amiga, what are you doing? But
Tag.
What are you doing?
Tag, what are you doing?
Just what are they doing? Just what are they doing?
It's
what are you?
boring. I'm bored by it.
It is.
It's expensive for what it is, and I'm bored.
I was
over 7K.
Yeah.
For a tag.
I was confused with the date window. I have never seen that in my life. That was a choice. I don't get it. It looks off. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It might have looked different if it was switched, and the date window was at 3 o'clock, and the subdial was over at 9. Might have looked different, but it's just I like how a nice black dial, really really cool. We go with a lot, but
it's not physically hideous.
No,
it's not visually. It's not visually horrible at all. I think it's based on a vintage piece that they did. Yeah. Apparently they sold out in 2 minutes. So half went to. Oh, there's so many people complaining that they didn't get it. I was like, calm down. There's plenty of other places that you can spend 7K.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I feel like half of those are also scalpers that'll just go on Chrono24 and put them up for twice the price.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently half went to Hodinkee and half went to Tag.
Okay.
So obviously 125 pieces in 2 minutes isn't actually horrendous, I
Yeah.
guess.
Right.
Um,
I mean,
But
I like
I-
some of the other like Hoyer, kind of more vintagey looking pieces. Like I love the Monaco. I think that's super cool. I think the Octavia is great. But yeah, this one I just kind of found dull. And at that price point, like I would tell someone to go get an El Primero, right?
Yeah.
Like one of the existing 38 millimeter or 42. I'd have a hard time recommending someone get this, but yeah, it's fine. It's not offensive. It's fine. Not
Yeah.
for me.
I wouldn't go and rush out and get it.
No.
Like I said, I'd rather get a El Primero or El Primero, you know, any other day. But this one, yeah,
you could get an OP and still have change for straps.
true. That is true.
Yeah.
It's just meh.
Yeah.
I did also notice something as well. So they've obviously done. Okay, let's see if I can switch between the two here, because can you see that?
Nope.
Nope. Nope. Okay. Lost permission.
No.
I'm not allowed to show it. I'm not allowed to share my own screen. Okay, so take a good look at that. Take a good look. So you've got your date window, your second, no, not seconds, idiot. And obviously where everything is placed.
Mhm.
And then we will have a little look here at the previous Hodinkee limited edition.
Yeah, but this
Does
one
that
at least like the
similar?
colorway is so fun. I do think the colors on this is it's fun. It's still expensive, right? For what it
Definitely.
is. But I think the colors.
But all they've done is switch the dial around and put a different and made it black.
I get what they're trying to, do. Maybe just have those simple colors so everyone can be more invited to it. I think everyone loves a black dial. It goes with everything. I think for that one they were going for, hey, let's get a pop of color to make it a little bit more of a fun piece. But other than that, it's just very, very boring looking. I wouldn't go out and rush to get it in any way.
Yeah.
I think you could find so much more for better price as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Mirror on the wall. We have no imagination at all.
Basically.
So yeah, similar. And Andrew said, there you go. I don't know why there's a delay. And Andrew said you can get a limited edition Grand Seiko for less.
Yeah,
that is true.
Okay, now on Grand Seiko for a minute. I would love to add a Grand Seiko to my collection. I just haven't found the right one. Arthur has a spring, which I think is beautiful. But what I want in a Grand Seiko is I want a really cool dial, because I think that's like the thing that they do so wonderfully and beautifully. But I also really want like 37 or under, and I want spring drive, because again, I think that's like one of the unique things that Grand Seiko does. And I just, that doesn't exist yet. So
I know that's one of my quarrels about Grand Seiko 2 is they have 37 and a half.
Right.
It's a quartz.
Yeah.
And it's doable. It's about like 2,400, I believe.
It's a good quartz.
It's a great
quartz watch. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it. But that's my thing. It's like I want a spring drive. I want it smaller on the smaller end, because a lot of their cases wear a little bit bigger, a little bit chunkier. And so, I mean, they look fine, but I prefer something a little bit smaller just to the way it wears and what I wear with it. It can easily go under, sweater or whatever, and to not just look like a little bit off on my wrist. So
Yeah,
I get
especially
that.
at that price point, I want it to be something I can wear all the time.
Yes.
Like, it would have to be a favorite piece.
Yeah, and the ones that are 37.5 are just like a plain black dial or that champagne one. They're beautiful. I've seen them and they're awesome. I would consider getting it, but it's for what I want in a Grand Seiko. My standards are so high, so I just can't pull the trigger.
I think because
Maybe
they
one day they'll
produce
make a watch for both of us.
such, yeah, I think because they produce such good quality watches, we want so much more from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll put that out there.
I'm waiting for, like you said, Stephanie, a really good dial with a spring drive and with a slimmer case, so it would fit us the best. I'm just waiting for that.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
I don't even like I don't mind the thickness of the spring. I tried on the Kirazuri one a few years ago, and I should have just bought it. It was like in a boutique, and I'm kicking myself for not doing that. But like a dial like that, that would just be amazing.
Yep.
But Grand Seiko isn't making my dream watches for me on commission, so
I know, not yet.
How dare they?
I know, it's very rude.
Very rude. What are your thoughts on the white birch that they've just released?
I think it's cool. I think it's neat. Yeah. Can you pull up a picture?
I can. Look at me being all ahead of myself. I'm already on it. I'm on it. If I can just find the right one.
I have one pulled up too if you can find it.
Grand Seiko is literally at the top of the list and I've just completely missed it. That'll be it. So as always, it is an insanely gorgeous dial. Like the way they do textures and do dials is just incredible. High beat movement, which is always good. I always love a simple blue secondhand.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts, Anne?
I like it. I think the dial is amazing. I think incorporating the high beat in this is great. I would still probably get a snowflake over this one.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's the OG, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people, I think, are comparing them.
Yeah, I think you just can't help it because of the texture and all that. But I think for the price, I would rather go for a snowflake. I think the snowflake just
isn't it actually?
Yeah, it's like 9,500, I believe. Yeah, I think the snowflake just has a little bit more to it, and especially for what you're getting the snowflake for compared to this one, I think it's a little bit more fun, personally. But everyone's different.
Yeah, I think if this was lower price, it would be a no-brainer. Because it's stunning.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see it in person because I know Grand Seiko dials are always even better in person as well.
Yep. Yeah, and every dial is just a little different, which makes it so much fun to look at.
Oh yes, Arthur has like my current Grail watch. He has the Blossom, the pink dial spring.
Yeah, but he won't let me borrow it.
Yeah,
and it would look great on me on a pink suede strap. I think it would be like gorgeous, like a dusty rose suede. And
so am I right? Am I right in thinking that Arthur doesn't let you wear his watches?
I mean, like, really, if I like asked him to wear a watch, it's not like a permission thing. That's not the kind of relationship we have. But he's so particular about it, and I wear my watches. I beat them up. Like, I fully admit that. But if I was to get like the smallest little tiny scratch from like typing on a computer, he would know it. he would instantly see it and blame me for it. And I just like can't have that kind of, responsibility over my head. So I just need to wait for him to get like something new that's more exciting, and then he doesn't care about some of his watches anymore. So like the Black Bay 58 I really want, in the spring. Those are ones I'd like to maybe get rotated over to me or turned into shared pieces. But it's stupid. Like we each have our own Speedmasters. That's dumb. We should be able to share that. I know I like mine better. I have the first Omega in space, and he has the Speedy Pro. But yeah,
you should be able to share. That's so funny because my other half is exactly the same.
Yeah,
exactly the same. Like if I got literally tiniest millimeter of a scratch or anything on it, he would know, and he would like tell me off for it. And I literally wear mine. And I'm really clumsy as well, so I like whack my arm on things, and I don't really notice what I'm doing while I'm typing on my desk. And
I
just
say, I don't have it on my desk right now, but there's this company, the Watch Cone. They make these like cones to put your watches on while you're sitting at your desk, or like by your bedside table. And I actually really like it because then you don't like get the scratches or hear the clunking, but your watch is in a safe place. I gave mine to somebody, so I'm waiting for a new one. But it's
that's cool.
If I ever put mine down, not crown side down. Oh, whoa.
Well, Arjun is better than
what are you doing?
Anything to me now. Like if I get a new scratch, he knows he shouldn't point it out. And if I've put it down wrong or weird or strange, he'll just change it, but he won't say anything, which is a wise move.
now is like the perfect time to borrow as many of his watches as possible.
I think so. I'm growing his child. Like I should be allowed
Let me wear your watch for like half an hour.
Yeah.
I love that.
You could literally like take it off and throw it against the wall and be like, I'm carrying your child.
Sorry. No, I'm trying to use this as an excuse to get a new watch. So we'll see if that comes through.
I like it.
If you don't have crazy hormones, I'll buy you a watch.
No. Like I want a present to commemorate the birth of our baby girl. I really want to get a 36 pink OP, the candy pink. I think that would be a really fun, like, hey, baby girl came, have this watch. So if I can find one, I'm hoping to be able to do that. We'll see.
This is a little girl.
Little girl. I already bought her a flick flack, so she's ready to go.
Oh, it's so cute.
Perfect. She's got her watch. You need your watch.
Exactly. And she can have it when she turns old enough and is responsible and doesn't beat up her watches like her mother. So that'll be good.
You know what's going to happen is that she's going to ask her dad to borrow a watch, and he can't say no.
That's true.
Trust me, my dad is like this tough guy, but with me, he'll let me do anything. So that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. All they have to do is like look at them with like those puppy dog eyes, and they're like, okay, fine.
Sure.
Yep.
Here's my Grand Seiko. Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll see. I'll believe it.
I'm just see you in the background, like, but you wouldn't let me wear it. So rude.
That's so true.
So you guys have quite a collection each, don't you? So for anyone that doesn't, well, I'm sure they do know, obviously. But Stephanie now does Call the AD on this channel with her husband, Arthur, which I couldn't imagine doing that with my other half, actually. I think it'd end up just being...
Just like the
is it funny?
that the two of us have all the time anyway, so we might as well do it for some entertainment and to talk to our friends and bring some friends along. But yeah, we're on Sundays at noon Eastern. If anyone wants to join, and we try to do a little bit of a different take. I feel like Scottish Watches, you guys cover a lot of the news that comes out, so we always try to do something that's a little bit like it's questions we would ask each other, like, what would you do if you had X dollars and can only buy 3 watches? What would you do if all of your watches got burned in a fire and you were starting from scratch? What would you do? So I like doing all these sort of what if questions with him, and we're both engineers too, so we like to kind of geek out on either like particular movements and pieces or like associations. He's really into aviation. I'm into space, so we go down those rabbit holes too. Yeah, so it's a pretty nerdy household, and you get insight into that on Sundays.
I love it. I love watching it. Just have you guys obviously have that great chemistry together, and just like you said, it's just a normal conversation you would have, just sitting on the couch together, like, oh hey, what do you think about this? And
Yeah.
I love that. That makes it so personable and just fun to watch, because it makes me think as well, like, oh, what would I get?
Well, for a while we were always talking about like the new thing that came out, and we still definitely do that. But it turns out we were all like, the two of us were reading the same stuff over and over and over again. So it'd be like at dinner, like, oh, did you see the new release on this? Like, yeah. What do you think the same thing? Yeah. And then like, we'd be comparing notes about all.
And that's sort of the end of the conversation.
Right.
Yeah. So now we do all these like what if questions to each other, which I don't know. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I think it makes it more fun to in another world.
Yeah.
What would this happen? Yeah.
Exactly. And we really don't share watches. Maybe one day, but we just haven't gotten there. And then we kind of buy our own watches. We don't tend to buy watches for each other. I've bought one for him, two, I guess. But it's like each our own thing to like go off. Though I think he's gonna one up me here soon, and then I want one for baby girl's arrival. So it's a slippery slope because we just encourage each other. It's awful. Yeah.
Yep, I feel that.
I think I do find that a lot of males are into watches, but not their partners. But as soon as you get a female that's into watches, it tends to be that her partner is also into watches.
I got him into it.
Did you actually?
Yeah. No, I was researching a watch for my 30th birthday. I got him a watch for our wedding. And then just started
What did you get him?
Researching. I got him a Frederic Constant dress watch. This was like the first time I'd ever researched something, and I was like, I want a dress watch, I want it under 40 millimeters, and I want an in-house movement, and my budget is $2,000. And it like checked all the boxes. It's great. He doesn't wear dress watches that much. I still really love that piece. I would get him something different if we were getting married now, but at the time it was great, and he likes it. But yes, I started researching more and more about it, and he's like an expert researcher. Like if we're buying anything, he goes like, way into the internet forums. And so I got into it, and then he got into it. So it's just kind of fun. It's a good shared hobby. Yeah, it's amusing, but we have too many watches, and we're not good at selling them. So
that's
it's not a sort of one in, one out situation. It's just, okay, we need another room for our watches now.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, we shared a watch box for a little while. That didn't last long. Then all my Quartzes got kicked out, and I think now we're starting to get full. But he has a very different like collecting philosophy, or how he goes about things, than I do. I like a lot of color. I like some brand diversity, a little bit all over the place. And he's I think he really likes kind of like the icons. He has a lot of black dials. Very leaning sporty, but he researches everything to like the T. I'm a little bit more of an impulse buyer, and
me too.
I like color and variety and shapes and stuff like this. So
It's about the color thing, but definitely they probably should do more research into pieces before I buy them than I do.
I'm very like not even impulse. I just know that I'll like it, so I just get it. Like, why not? If something is going to bother me that much, then okay, then I'll sell it. All right, I'll live. But I love color as well. I've gotten my boyfriend into more color, which is surprising, because he was kind of the same way. He very simple black, white, maybe a blue. But ever since being with me and him sharing my watches with me, he's more into like, oh yeah, I'll go for that bright blue or that yellow. Why not? kind of proud of myself. It's like, wow, I really took you away from the dark side. Do you ever get, okay, I don't know if you ladies ever get this, but I get this a lot, and it kind of pisses me off when people ask
I think
oh, go ahead. I was going to say that people ask me when I I could just be showing whatever watch, and they're like, oh, did your boyfriend get you into watches? And I was like, no, I have a personality before him.
Yep.
Like, what do you mean? I've always loved watches. This was like, we just found out later on that we liked watches together and have created like that relationship because, a deeper relationship because of it. So I really hate when people ask like, oh, your boyfriend must have got you into watches. And I'm like, no, he didn't. It was all me.
no.
Yeah, I do hate that assumption. I've gotten a couple times at like where we're just walking into boutiques, and trying on things. But I gotta say, like when I've gone to watch meetups, when I've gone to Red Bar stuff, like even if we come in together and don't know people, that's never the assumption that I've gotten, which has been really nice.
That's nice.
I like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's good.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, I don't
change.
tend to get presumptions about that. Just obviously when we go into, when we were allowed to go into sort of ADs together, they would occasionally talk to him rather than me. And then I'd ask questions about it, and they go, "Oh, do you know things about watches?" You can see it on their face. And you're like, "Yes, I'm also into watches. I've not just been dragged here."
Yeah, let me spit out some reference numbers for you here. Like,
yeah,
I wish I was better at remembering them.
Give me my free espresso. Let's.
I've gotten one. I think one of the first times I ever went to one of the ADs I go to, it's like half watch shop, half like engagement ring store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And one of the guys, I forget what I was looking at. I think I was looking at a tutor, and he's like, oh, did you want to look at the engagement rings? And I was like, I mean, not really. I kind of wanted to look at this Black Bay, but what? I mean, I guess I'll buy a ring for myself too if you're at it. Yeah, I really.
If you throw it in at a discount for the watch, yeah.
Yes, if it comes with, I'll totally get it. Yeah, that was something that like it didn't really bother me at the time, but then looking back, and I'm like, what? Why did you do that? That was unnecessary. Like, yeah, and then I would like throw out whatever, like, oh, I'm looking for Grand Seiko, SPGA, whatever, and they're like, oh, we have that, and I was like, oh, okay, now you want to talk to me.
Got it.
I get it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a shame that you have to like memorize.
Yeah.
That you have to memorize reference numbers just to not be pushed to the jewelry section of a shop.
Yeah. Silly.
Times are changing, people. Times are changing. I hope. It's moving in the right direction, I think. Have you guys noticed there's a lot more people now, like females, especially on Instagram, that are popping up?
Yeah, it's great. I think it's really fun. Especially seeing more women in the industry too. I just didn't, because I'm not in the watch business at all. And so I don't even know all the types of jobs that are out there or like that are possible in the watch industry. And so to see some, learning a little bit more about like what those positions, what those people do, but then to see women in them, I think is great. And like seeing women in leadership roles at brands, I think is awesome. And I think that's going to start trickling down into, if it hasn't already, like brand releases and brand rollouts. So I think it's great.
Definitely. Okay, well, that's almost time. I am going to do a few shout outs very, very quickly. The lovely Nick from Fears has recently been doing, I don't know whether this is a random coincidence timing, but he's been doing Instagram lives on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Tonight he's doing it at 8 p.m. and going forward it will be 8 p.m. So once you're finished here, check out Instagram stories because he goes really in depth and he's such a genuinely nice person and so honest about his brand and himself. Absolutely love for him. So check him out. And also, I have only just realised this, but you can now listen to our lives back on your podcaster of choice. All you have to do is search Scottish Watches Live Lugs Edition, so SWL Lugs Edition, and you can actually listen to us back, which I only found out this evening, and there's multiple episodes on there. I was like, oh, thanks, Rick. Thanks for telling us that.
I never remembered when he said that it was going to be a thing. I remember he, like, in the beginning, he's like, oh, maybe we'll put you on. But nothing after that. So that was a surprise.
Stephanie, did you know?
I did. Well, I knew he was doing with the call to AD, so we did figure that out. We're trying to like talk because we show a lot of pictures, right? And like trying to talk through it so people that are listening can know what they're listening to and not just having me reference something on the screen. So trying to do that a little better.
It's weird because I was doing obviously we were doing the Scottish Watches Live on a Friday afternoon, and then me and Sam did that podcast that first time, and I was like, this is so weird. I'm used to like seeing people and like if you're laughing about something or reacting to something, that's actually quite loud on a podcast. And I was like, oh my god, I've realised that me going, it's actually just Rick turning every episode into a
a lot of editing.
Yeah.
Come on, Ricky, sort me out. But yes, Stephanie, how can people get in touch with you? What's your Instagram? How can they see your show?
Yeah, She Watches the World, and you can follow calltheA.d on Instagram too, but tune in on Sundays at noon. We'll see what our topic is going to be this week. We'll figure it out. We have a few ideas. But thanks for having me, ladies. This was fun.
Oh, this was fantastic. It's been nice not being the only non-Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
And Stateside, how can I get in touch with you?
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram at Sam and Her Watchbox, and follow all my weird, fun posts that I post about my watches or the watches that I borrow, quote unquote, from my boyfriend and stuff. So always follow me on there and on here, of course.
Oh, yep. So you can now catch us on Spotify or wherever else you do your podcasts. We are here on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. every week. And you can catch us on Instagram as well at Time of the Week. So thank you very much, ladies. And thank you everyone for watching. We'll catch you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.